What's up guys, Andrew from Rapid here. Want to give you a quick rundown of some of the things that I'll be expecting you to do when you get here, right? So this will be pretty much your routine, at least some of the basics, right? So this is called a couch stretch. I'm going to start by just putting my shoelaces on this pad and I'm going to take a knee. That's pretty much the gist of it. There's a couple little details. One, I want to make sure I have a straight line from my head to my knee. So I don't want to be here and I don't want to be here either. Even though this feels like a big stretch, you're kind of stretching the wrong thing a little bit. So to feel a little bit more hip flexor, what I would say is tuck your hips and reach your hands. So what I've got here is still that straight line. And now my hips are in a better position, right? And so all I'm going to do is hold this. I usually do about a minute. I should feel this here and here. To feel quad, you can lean back a little bit, but notice I didn't lose this line, okay? To make it a little bit more intense, I can lift this arm up. Also a little bit more hip flexor. But either way is fine. About a minute on each side. This is a good one you can do at home too, on a couch. That's why it's called a couch stretch. All right, next in the worm, we're gonna go over how to do a split squat. Pretty common exercise you'll see actually in the weight room, but I like to include these in the warm up. One, for extra practice, but two, it's a great way to work on some control, right? So I'm gonna set up with one foot back, and I like to just start by taking a knee. And I'm gonna stand right straight back up. So notice how this knee travels on the same line. I'm not traveling forward. Okay, so that's the one big thing. Number two is this foot. This front foot stays nice and flat. That's super important. So I'm going down, straight up on that same line like an elevator, okay? Usually 6 to 8 per side. Make sure you take your time and keep this line straight up and down. So we don't want to spend time like this either. All right, next we got an inchworm. Great kind of full body mobility, especially the way that we like to coach it. The big thing here to remember is you want to stretch your calves, right? So push up position though, I'm going to start with my hands. So walk my hands out a little bit, a couple steps, and then what we're going to do is walk our toes towards our hands. But notice how I go slow and I kind of try to put those heels down. You may not be able to get your heel to the floor, it's fine. You just want to work on it a little bit. So when you run out of room, walk the hands out to the next rep. Toes go to the hands, butt goes to the sky, heels go to the ground. You're usually going to do about 5 of these, okay? Make sure you take your time. All right, last one here. We're going to do a Spiderman lunge, sometimes called the world's greatest stretch. Not a joke, it's actually called that. What we're going to do is take a big old lunge step out, and the key to this drill is taking your time. You want to spend a few seconds in each one of these positions. So position 1, both hands on the floor, on the inside of my leg. Some would say elbow to instep, and that's fine. A little bit of progression, but that's fine. Notice how this back leg is pretty straight. If you need to drop it to the floor, fine, right? But challenge yourself to eventually be able to hang out like this. So at the bottom, knee or up, knee down or up, either's fine. 1, 2, 3. And then when I go to move on to position 2, I'm gonna turn my head with my hand and look up here. 1, 2, 3, following my hand with my eyes. To come out of that and go to position 3, now we're gonna go hand on either side of the foot and we're gonna lift up. 1, 2, 3. Now this is a pretty aggressive hamstring stretch. When you do something like this, you wanna make sure you don't crank too hard. It needs to be maybe a little uncomfortable, but never painful, right? So that's 1. Let me run through one more on my other side just so you can see it in real time. Elbow to instep. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to turn up. Another cue I forgot is pull this knee towards your chest. A little extra stretch right here. Look at my hand. 2, 3. Down. Hamstring. 1, 2, 3. Usually running about 2 to 3 per side, which is why you want to spend a lot of time in each position.